All right, well, that was pretty cool. Whoever did that. Tim, Norm, it was pretty nice right there. And Tim, it's nice actually that you have some good things to say about me, so that's good. And to all my teammates from Frankenmuth that are here, thank you guys for coming. And they were all heckling me all day when I got here. And they know I'm not a man of preparation all the time. I just come in, we knock it out. Just so you guys are aware, I actually have part of my speech printed out right here. So, yeah. OC, thank you for that. No, this has been tremendous. It's been a great weekend for me to come back home. I'm still in the Cincinnati area, so Xavier's turned out to be a good choice. But it's been a lot of fun to kind of revisit and just remind myself of the times in Saginaw and in Frankenmuth. And when I look back specifically in Saginaw, I mean, I think of all the gyms that I played in here, from Arrowhead Elementary to St. Thomas Aquinas to Center Court to Saginaw High, Arthur Hill, wherever it was. Any gym in Saginaw that was open and available to me to shoot, I was the kid in there shooting in the gym the whole time. So I felt like I earned a lot of respect for who I played against, where I went to play as well. I think about all the teams that I got to play for. The Tri-City Storm, I know Rick Weigel is here. Michigan Mustangs, Norm Oden's here. Tim Crawford at Frankenmuth, and then moving on to Zay. Actually, no, I can't pass St. Lawrence yet. I got Mike Bender and Mike Corby over here. You guys would have killed me if I didn't mention you. Clap it up for Mike Bender and Mike Corby. And Corby, you got up with me pretty much every Saturday morning for about 3 years straight, so thank you so much for that. And so the Michigan Mustangs, and then at Xavier playing under Coach Sean Miller and Chris Mack, so pretty incredible opportunities for a kid from Frankenmuth. My time at Frankenmuth, extremely special, something I care a lot about. And we got a bunch of Frankenmuth people here. If you're from Frankenmuth and you're in the building, clap your hands if you don't mind. So thank you guys for your support over the years. I wear Frankenmuth like a badge of honor wherever I go. I got one story, and Coach Munger, I apologize. This is going to be the second time that you've heard this story, but I was talking with Coach Munger, first time I ever met him last night, and we were sharing stories for about an hour. But Tim Crawford got the Frankenmuth boys varsity team to play in the Detroit Public School League at St. Cecilia. And we would go down into the inner city, and if you don't know about St. Cecilia, it's a famous old church gym. I mean, if you're a basketball player from Michigan and haven't played in the Saint, I don't know if you're a true basketball player. But I went down there. I had just finished 8th grade, and I was kind of starting to carve out some time as a player. You know, I was a big shot, at least in my own head at that time. And I was playing with the varsity guys at Frankenmuth and felt like I was doing more than holding my own and doing really well. So we go down to the Saint, and it's June, it's a hot day, there's no AC at all, and we get the lucky opportunity of playing Deshaun Sims and Detroit Pershing in our first game. And Deshaun Sims was probably the most imposing figure that you'll ever see. I mean, this guy was shredded ripped. He looked like an action figure. And we get into the game, we got like 6 of us playing, and we're getting our butts kicked. I mean, we're getting blown out. I'm turning the ball over, my head's spinning, and all of a sudden I'm feeling like I'm a little bit shorter than what I am. Coach Crawford calls a timeout. We go over to the sideline. He turns his back away from us for a little while. I think he was trying to figure out what to say. He looks at me, he goes, "Hey, Redford, get your head out of your ass. You're not playing Peace Lutheran anymore." It was a great moment, one I'll never forget. But man, we had such a good time, and Tim and I, we were 4 years together as my head coach. We just had so much fun. I mean, it was no work. I would put in hours and hours and hours, and probably from when I was 5 years old to 23, took about 500 to 800 shots a day. But man, that was a fun time. My time at Xavier was fantastic. Played for Sean Miller for a year, and then Chris Mack for my other 4, and just tremendous opportunities and experiences, and being able to play in gyms like the Palustra in Philadelphia, being able to play in Boston in the NCAA tournament, and ultimately kind of finding a home in Cincinnati has just been fantastic for me. And basketball has provided a way for me to connect with people, to stay involved in the community, to just be a big part of my city in Cincinnati. So if anybody's ever there, make sure you try to link up with me, go to a Xavier game. I'll make sure that you get taken care of, especially the Frankenmuth crew. I'll take you guys all the time. And lastly, I just want to thank a few people before I get going. Obviously, the committee. This has been a first-class event. If we could clap it up for the committee, I think that would be great. I'd like to thank my parents for driving me pretty much everywhere. I'd like to thank my neighbors for putting up with me shooting the basketball until about midnight, just about every single night. My brothers, the studs that they are, Dan Redford and Kent Redford. My fiance for taking the time to kind of learn about my past, because she wasn't there back in the Frankenmuth days. All my teammates and coaches, you guys are so special to me. You guys mean everything to me, so I do appreciate that. And thank you guys all for coming tonight and supporting all the inductees here, all the individual players, all the coaches, all the teams. It means a lot to have your support and continue to give back to your community, especially those younger players. Make sure those guys and girls are fired up and ready to go. And after Coach Munger's speech, I'm freaking pumped up. I should have played football. I'm coming back, man. I got some eligibility in football. But in all seriousness, thank you so much for an awesome night, and have a good rest of the night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.